Today's tropical weather update is brought to you by State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.
And hello there, it's the 4th of June 2025, 4 days into your 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. I'm meteorologist Leonard Josiah. Let's take a look at your tropical weather update. When we're talking about the tropical weather, we are talking about storms that can really impact or form within what we call the North Atlantic and further towards the west, the Caribbean Sea, and also for the Gulf of Mexico. You're seeing this little area right here. It's an area of disturbed weather that the National Hurricane Center is currently tracking. The chances of development has decreased during the past 24 hours. So in terms of tropical cyclone formation, is not expected to do much apart from bring some impacts of rain impacts and some flooding to places such as North Carolina and also Atlanta especially. But in terms of us here, not expected for us to do too much in the way of impacts across Antigua and Barbuda and the rest of the Leeward Islands. But climatologically, you're going to be hearing a few terms when we're talking about our tropical weather update. The first of which is what we call the main development area. The main development area, I have blocked out most of the North Atlantic just to highlight this area. This main development area starts from Africa and traverses the whole southern Atlantic Ocean all the way to closer to the eastern Caribbean islands. This main development area, storms really would have formed in this area, move towards the west, and can impact us here in the eastern Caribbean islands. So in terms of our hurricane monitoring, this is the area for us to watch. But here is another area that we would really want for you to know in our 2025 hurricane forecasting, is what we call our monitored area. It's the climatologically favored area where storms that have impacted us over all the years. So when they come off the coast of Africa, they move towards the west, and they sometimes enter in this area. When they enter into this particular area closer to the eastern Caribbean islands, they have a higher chance of impacting us here in Antigua and Barbuda and the rest of the Leeward Islands. So when they enter into this area, 40 degrees west, we're going to be issuing you alerts. That's the time when our alerts actually begin to sensitize you that there is something for you to really watch out for. Take a look at your larger satellite imagery from the North Atlantic, the Caribbean Sea, the Gulf of Mexico is behind us, the Leeward Islands and the British Virgin Islands right there, all the way down south to Trinidad and Tobago. The main development area starts from the coast of Africa. Nothing much for us to talk about. You're seeing some patches of low-level clouds, weak intertropical convergence zone, but take a look at this weak tropical wave. It's surrounded by dusty environment. It's not allowed to develop any further. So in terms of your outlook, nothing for you to worry about, at least for the 4th day of June in the 2025 hurricane forecast. Now, however, you have been hearing so much about the dusty conditions. It's the Saharan dust. It's the time of year, by the way. This is our visible satellite the way from Africa, right here in the Eastern Caribbean. You're seeing some dusty brown going on right here. There's another plume of dust right there, and the dust is surrounding the tropical wave. But take a look at this other area right here. It's another plume of dust that is moving off the coast of Africa, possibly will traverse the Atlantic Ocean in the main development area before getting to us. But the haze has lifted around us. You're seeing a little bit more clearer skies right here, a little bit more clearer skies right there. So if you're on the outside in the Leeward Islands and the British Virgin Islands, you're not necessarily seeing a reduction in visibilities because the haze has lifted. Hurrah! But we're going to be keeping our eye in the main development area. Again, no coastal watches or warnings for you to talk about. In terms of our dust tracker with our friends at Fox Hurricane, the dust is now located over Cuba, moving towards the west. We are now in a drier slot. Take a look at the clear skies right inside here. A weaker line of dust right there. And this is this morning, the 4th of June at 9 a.m. But tomorrow, Thursday, the 5th of June at 6 a.m., we are still in the clear spots. So in terms of those individuals who have the allergies, etc., at At least for the next 24 hours, we are not forecasting any significant dusty conditions, even though we are seeing this weak line right here. I'm going to be leaving you in the next couple of minutes, but in terms, before I leave you, here is something that I would also want to talk to you about. It's what we call the hurricane preparedness tip. I want for us to start at tip number 1, is to know your hazards. Yeah, these hurricanes and these storms, they certainly come with their hazards. These hazards can negatively impact you, causing a loss of life and destruction to your properties. So in terms of your hurricane preparedness, nothing beats knowing these hazards. That's the tip 1, knowing these hazards. Educate yourselves about hurricane to the point where you know exactly what is likely to take place. So these hazards, understanding the hurricane hazard, is your first hurricane preparedness tip. Strong winds. These strong winds can damage your homes, cause a loss of life. They also come with tornadoes. Yeah, these come with significant threats. What about your heavy rainfall? Those heavy rainfalls, such as Omar and Lenny, if I can recall a few storms, brought torrential rain, torrential flooding, loss of life. Yeah, so remember that your hurricane hazards do come with heavy rainfall, flooding, mudslides. Those are secondary hazards that comes with it. Then comes your rough seas, marine conditions. Rough seas, coastal inundation, coastal destruction, coastal flooding, even a loss of life to those fisher folks. Your boats, etc., are certainly in what we call a higher risk because of those rough seas. Storm surge, those individuals who are living closer to the coastal areas, you are at a higher threat and a higher risk because of the storm surge. So in terms of your hurricane preparedness, know and understand your hurricane hazards. If you're on the outside, or whenever these hazards are producing life-threatening conditions, take a snapshot of those pictures for us. Send them to abmsiwatch@gmail.com. Again, send those pics and your videos to abmsiwatch, and we certainly respond to you by giving you a plug on our social media. I'm Leonard Josiah. Happy that you have joined us. Remember this, spread the word for us. Tell someone that we are your trusted weather source. Remember that what sets us apart from all the other YouTubers is that we are a bona fide warning agency. We are tagged with warning you. And with that, we are a trusted weather source for your Leeward Islands and the British Virgin Islands on social media. You can find us right here, Antigua and Barbuda, at our hotline at 463-4638. At our website, take a look at all that information. And as I leave you, I always say, the weather will always change, but you can keep weathering your weather. In spite of the weather, whether you like it or not, join us same time, same place, right here at the Antigua and Barbuda Meteorological Services for your daily tropical weather update.
Today's tropical weather update has been brought to you by State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.